Number 30. That 10-yard penalty is enforced at the end of the kick. It's first down. Timeout.
Ball on Wallace. Holding Rochelle. That'll back them up to their own 45. 7-0. Packers in the first.
Virgin Plus is obviously
back in Los Angeles. And the Rams. They had 4 snaps inside the Green Bay 10 the last time they had it. Went for it from 4 yards out. Fourth down. No points. Kyren Williams. Another explosive run. Already had one gallop for 30. This one for about 12.
You're going to see just a simple run out, and you get the backup Corum in.
Yeah, Corum, not Kyren.
Yeah, and it's a rarity because Williams plays like 85% of the snaps, which is rare for a running back, but you see the future for Blake there. He's got a bright future as well.
What a career he had at Michigan. This one's whistled. That was Corum's longest run. He had only 8 carries before today. Rookie taken in the 3rd round.
False start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hunter Long called for that.
Well, the offseason signing from the Giants has been a home run, an interception in each game, and these are not just balls thrown to him. These are great instinctful plays. 3 of his 4 interceptions are him just reading the field and reacting, as well as any safety in the NFL, and you saw it earlier today on that 3rd down throw.
And again, 1 interception in each of the first 4 games. 1st and 15. 3rd catch for Atwell. Picks up about 4.
You know, the one area coming into the game, Jim, that I was really anxious to watch was this Green Bay front has wreaked havoc for a few years, and they have not had the same effectiveness so far to start the season. And you know, they've got some talented players up there, and they're just getting their footing in this new system. But I like it when they show 5-man fronts. That gets one-on-one guys against the O-line. And this is the first time they've shown it today.
2nd and 11. They have forced a lot of turnovers, most in the league. First 4 weeks. There's Corum on the screen, bouncing off a hit, bouncing off his tackle, and going out of bounds. He was able to get away from Valentine, and that would probably run out the first quarter. Made a nice couple of plays there to Corum.
This is a great job by Sean McVay, calling a screen on a blitz up the middle by Walker. That's when you want to call it. Guys get removed from the middle.
About 3rd and 3 coming up to start the 2nd quarter. Green Bay with a Jacobs touchdown. Leads it after 1. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Experience the untold story of one of TV's most iconic characters. Austin Stowell stars in NCIS Origins. Series premieres CBS Monday, October 14th, and streaming on Paramount Plus. Well, in that first quarter, the Rams ran 7 plays in Green Bay territory, didn't score. The Packers ran 1, and they scored on that 1 play.
Same as last week, trailing, even though it looks like you're moving the ball better than the other 2.
Williams returns to the backfield on this 3rd and 3 to open the 2nd. And he gets the handle. And he fights for the yardage and the first down. Parkinson threw a nice block for him. Oh, look at the spot. They're spotting it. They come in and they spot him about a yard behind from where he finally landed.
They're saying his knee was down, obviously, before. It was hard to tell from up here, but I thought he got it right there. That's really close. I think they might be right, Jim. I actually agree with it.
Yep, they're going for it here on 4th and a foot.
No.
Williams. There is that vision he talked about with us when we met with him on Friday. He broke away from Wooden, but this guy is so clever in short yardage, Tony.
Well, you've got backup offensive linemen all over the place, but I want you to watch the right side right here. This is a dead play. It's over unless you have a running back like Williams to have that ability to jump cut and get a first down. He's a special player, one of the smartest running backs I've ever talked to.
1st and 10 from the 31. Williams now on the pitch. gets thrown down, but not until after it's another gain of 7. They're running the football effectively.
They are, and they've really come on the last couple weeks. Didn't start the year great, but Sean McVay and Mike LaFleur, offensive coordinator, have done a good job of utilizing the skill set of the players and who they have and adjusting with all the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the wide receivers, Nacua, and of course, Kupp. But this offensive line has had to be rebuilt after a slew of injuries, especially week 1. Second and 3.
Changing the play. No one came across. He knows it's zone.
Changes into this play. To the end zone and off the back of Nixon. And no flag. Trying to connect with Robinson.
Well, they go to Robinson, the one-on-one on the backside, but Nixon with great technique.
They never turned his head around, though.
Yes, but he didn't really make a play on the player. I believe it was a good no call. The ball just needed to be a little further. Stafford skipping the guys inside and taking the shot outside.
Now you got a 3rd and 3.
They ran it last time versus a very similar look. I think they're going to throw this one, Jim.
They run it. It's Williams. Got a block. Might have had a piece of the face mask there, but he's got a first down. Havenstein locked down that side and freed Kyren for 8.
This is just Sean McVay at his best. He replaces, blocked down. Havenstein comes out on the edge. Basically, Sean McVay says, if we get this front and this look, we have leverage. We can run this outside and be able to get a first down. If we don't have that, then we're going to change the play. Well done.
Right tackle, the leader of that offensive line. Corum back in, the rookie at running back. First down. Handoff to Atwell. Atwell takes it down to the 8-yard line where McKinney finishes it off.
So many creative runs right now, inside, outside, and take a look at this, Jim.
Look at all the offensive starters who are out. I mean, it's a list that just seems endless. Jonah Jackson. Yeah, talked about Nacua and Kupp. They will be coming back. Maybe Kupp first, maybe in a couple of weeks when they come off the bye.
O-line a little longer after that. That's why I said if they can survive, get a W today, go 2-1 in the next 3 or 2-2 in the next 4, you'll see this team really come on at the end of the year like they did last year.
Second and 3, it's Corum. Corum into the arms of Quay Walker. Good hard run down to about the 4-yard line where they visited before and didn't score. Well, one thing about, you say, trying to survive, they have this just their second home game of the year today. Next week, that bye I mentioned, and then 2 straight home games. They don't travel for a month, so they've got a chance.
I agree. You want to be at home, especially with all the starters out. But when you get them back and you go on the road, you have a chance to win.
First and goal. Pitch it. Corum. Corum. The rookie is stopped about a foot short from his first NFL touchdown. And they're hurrying to the line. They're hurrying to the line.
It's another great call.
Right back to him. Corum. Chopped under and stopped. This is where Kyren Williams
I thought he got in there, yeah.
is maybe the best short yardage back in the league. And they're going to bring him in for this next snap. He has so many touchdowns over the last 16 games. Watch this.
Now he's stopped.
There's Walker who chopped up the legs there, brought him down.
Yeah, you talk about Williams.
This is Williams territory.
Rushing touchdown 8 straight games. Did they bring him back out there?
They did.
They did. You bring in Jabbar and just send to the sky hook.
It's a 3rd and goal. It's Williams. He's in for the Rams touchdown.
Just an outstanding job by him. I mean, there's not a lot there. He can fit into those little holes, and he says it's a mindset. You put your head down. You're physical, yet you get skinny.
He knows how to do it. He has this great vision you spoke of earlier. He says, I'm not really feeling like I'm playing well unless I have 100 yards rushing and a touchdown in every game. He's on pace. Well, he's got 56 yards, and he's got his touchdown, and they've got the extra point, and this game is tied at 7. Kyren Williams with his 7th touchdown overall of this young season. Well, in a roundabout way, Kyren Williams is one of the last ties the Rams have to St. Louis. He's a St. Louis kid and grew up a huge Rams fan. Used to go to their home games. His coach, when he was a young man, Tom Fogarty, used to take the team to the Rams games. They used to stand by the tunnel, hoping to get something from one of the players, some gloves or something. Got Adrian Peterson's gloves one time. But Steven Jackson was his guy. And he said, I love Steven Jackson's gold shoes. I always wanted his cleats. I never got them. But look at these. The only ones you see on the field like that. That's a little ode to Steven Jackson. Back in the days when the Rams resided in Kyren's hometown.
Yeah, we all look up to the players we grew up watching and try and emulate them. It's awesome. Great to talk with that young man.
And now here, speaking of hometowns, you got Jordan Love, who was raised somewhat in the area in Bakersfield, a little over 100 miles away. Slinging it toward the sideline and out of reach for Wicks. And for more on Kyren Williams, let's bring in Tracy.
Well, Jim, you guys were talking about his appreciation for the NFL, and I spoke to him pregame, and he told me he remembers being at Rams games when the Packers would come, seeing all the greens. So no doubt he's extra juiced for this one, playing against Green Bay here.
Well, he's off to a fast start. He's helped tie this game after the Rams drove it 55 yards for a touchdown. Corum helped him a bunch, too. Here's a 2nd and 10. Jacobs with quick contact on him by Young. They do have a flag out at about the 38-yard line.
It was a great timely pressure. Understanding this team was going to try and commit to the run after they threw it once. You thought they'd come back with it. Good job by Chris Shula, defense coordinator. That's always a tough call.
You lost it. You dropped him for a loss. Do you take the 10 or you take the play?
3rd and long, 2nd and 20, or 3rd and 14. I'm going 3rd down.
I'm with you on that.
You don't give this quarterback and these guys too many chances.
Offense, number 18. The penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
So you got a 3rd and 14 coming up. They called it on Heath, one of the wideouts. The Packers, like the Rams, they both pulled off great closes to their season a year ago. They both were 3-6 and made the postseason.
And the Packers turned it on right after the game against the Rams.
And the Rams did too.
Yep, when they were 2-5, it jump-started them.
Here we go, 3rd and 14. Pressure. Little jump pass. Complete to Kraft. But they're on him quickly, including Witherspoon. And they'll force him to punt.
And this is an obvious passing situation. I really believe the Rams have a really good front. They create a lot of pressure. 5 guys are going to be rushing one-on-one opportunities. And you see on the edge, Byron Young, who's an ascending 2nd-year player, explosive. You see him get the edge real quickly on the tackle. Walker.
Whelan last week had the highest average in a game by a Packer punter
to jump up and catch.
Yeah, his punting average last week was the best since 1962 when Boyd Dowler had a monster game. Of course, Dowler known as a famous receiver back in the Lombardi days. Fair caught by Smith, but he did a little double duty. And Whelan does his job. The Packers defeating the Chiefs. Pat on the call that day, along with Ray Scott, Jack Whitaker, and Frank Gifford. It's a 1st and 10. With Williams. Again, that vision coming into play. Didn't look like a whole lot there, but he picks up 7 or 8.
It's been an outstanding start. A lot of creativity, misdirection, and really Sean McVay's creating the leverage and angles for his players by the front, and then they all of a sudden can get outside. Once again, creating the leverage and angles for the Rams start, then a pitch pull, and then just a wide, sweet play. And so much of running the football is giving the guys who are blocking an angle on a guy and not having to try and reach out to him.
They've rushed for 90 yards already, but they're trying to go up top here. Little screen set up for the rookie. Whittington got a first down. He caught 6 balls last week in the game against Minnesota.
I'm impressed with him, and you see the rack right there, his ability to run after catch rack. It's going to be a simple bootleg, and you'll see him sneak back. He's going to get hit right there at the edge of the line by Smith, but he does a good job. And right here, you see his ability like a running back to get the extra 5 yards.
Comes out of that wide receiver room down in Austin last year, along with Xavier Worthy.
I like him. I honestly think his future's bright. He's got a good feel for the game. He's got size. He can block in the run game, which you have to do for both of these coaches.
6 of his 11 catches on the season coming in were last week in the game against the Vikings. Play action. And that one intended for Davis Allen. With a lost yardage had he caught it. Let's go down the trace.
Jim, we talked about cornerback Jair Alexander out again. Well, the Packers signed Robert Rochelle to the active roster this week for some added depth. He is now in the X-ray room being looked at for a stinger.
So a little thinner, the Packers on that last row of the defense. 2nd and 10. Stafford will try to challenge him here. Pass caught. What a leaping grab it is by the former Chief, Demarcus Robinson.
I love when the Rams do this. They line up with the running back in the backfield, motion him down, and it's just block him up and throw a simple comeback on the outside.
Nixon.
Great catch right there by Robinson. But to me, Matthew Stafford has a big arm. You can line up and throw routes to the field, to the boundary, way outside, and make it a simple pitch and catch because of his skill set.
Holds on to it. Good job by Robinson after somersaulted upon the hit by Nixon. First down at the 40. Williams. We'll work that middle. Bounce around for just a couple. He's got 11 totes for 65 yards and a touchdown.
In one area, when you bring offensive linemen, young guys in, and the Rams, these are the 2 youngest rosters in the NFL. And so it takes you a little time. But through 4 weeks, you start to understand your team and players, and Sean knows what he can and can't run. But to me, if you can run the ball, backup O-linemen, it's easier for them to run the ball than say, hey, drop back and go against this guy for 30, 40 plays.
If they move Williams right off the right guard.
You think it's a pass? Yes.
2nd and 8. There is the throw, and it's going to be a yard short of the first with Hunter Long. You just talked about the youngest teams in the league. You're right. They're 1 and 2. The Packers' average age, well, about a half a year younger than the Rams. 1 and 2 in the league, youngest.
Well, that's why the Rams have an advantage today. They got 100 and some days on them.
Got to make the most of those days, right? Make every day count.
Think about it. 2 teams very similar structurally, system-wise.
3rd and 1. High snap, pulled down, handed off. Kyren Williams has the first.
Wonderful job by him. He's got internal pressure over and over again on these short yardage situations, and he just figures out a way to move the chains.
We should talk about youth. The coach on the sideline for the Rams, the youngest to ever head coach to ever win a Super Bowl when the Rams won it a couple of years ago against Cincinnati. Just 33 years young. Amazing.
Really is. I mean,
well, actually, he was 33 when he coached in his first Super Bowl in Atlanta.
I know what you're saying.
Then he came back.
Then he came back.
Yeah, but still, nonetheless, youngest ever.